Yesterday, I was tagged in this video about Italy and its lack of births. And in this video, whoever created the video said that Italy had not had one birth in 3 months. And I was like, oh my God, that is wild. Y'all know I have been following and doing stories about the declining birth rate and how this is a global phenomenon. So obviously that piqued my interest. I do not just go and repost videos without looking up numbers because I need to verify things. I was not able to verify anything about there being no births in 3 months in Italy. So, but, they are actually in their own birth dearth. Italy as of 2020 had about 1.24 births per woman. So that is quite low. That is definitely down there with Japan is not quite South Korea, but this is falling in line because if you look at the blue line, back in 1960 they had just over 2 children per woman, but now it is is well under that, and women are clearly opting out. Even though I wasn't able to find anything about there being no births in 3 months, I did find this article. And I have read some articles about Italy over the past month or so. This one says, Inside, Job or Baby? Italian women struggle to have both, holds back growth. So the bullet points of this article, Italy has the lowest female occupation rate in the EU. GDP to shrink sharply due to aging population. Economy minister says pension system won't hold up. Policies failing to make a difference. Now let's look at the expanded version of this article. Elena has a 7-month-old baby and is about to quit her job. Unable to overcome the difficulties of combining motherhood and work in Italy, where both women's employment and the birth rate are among the lowest in the European Union. Getting more women into the labor force is an imperative for the central bank, which has said the change is needed to support long-term economic growth and to ensure that Italy's $2.8 trillion euro or $3 trillion debt pile is sustainable. Dealing with gender inequality, a subject that won Claudia Golden the Nobel Economics Prize this week, could also ease a demographic crisis that threatens the pension system. 5 economists, including Italy's former chief statistician, told Reuters. Research shows women in richer economies are more likely to have children if they work. Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, Italy's first female premier, has said that women are an untapped resource that lessens the need for immigrant labor. They do not want immigrants there. Yet her conservative government's 2024 budget, to be presented on Monday, is not expected to include measures to drive change. Italy really is a very interesting case because female participation is extremely low against the backdrop of worrying fertility rates, said Claudia Olivetti, an economics professor at Dartmouth. Speaking on condition of anonymity because she has yet to submit her resignation, Elena told Reuters she could not get a spot at a local nursery and can't afford a full-time babysitter. So we're back to the issues of childcare. Her small company employer denied her request for flexible working arrangements, she said, including some mandated by law. These people simply do not want women to work, so they cannot want women to really have babies for their country. They're just unwilling to make any concessions to help women do all of the things that women have to do. According to a government report relating to 2021, nearly 1 in 5 Italian women aged under 50 left their job after having their first child. Over half said they found it impossible to combine work and childcare. Another 29%, however, said they had been fired or not had their contract renewed. Enza Guzzo returned from her second maternity leave in October 2011 to find a dismissal notice waiting. They called me in and gave me the letter. I refused to take it, and they sent it to my home address. She found another job and sued her former employer, motivated, she said, by a desire for justice. I'm raising 2 daughters. They too could become mothers one day. I had to do it for them. You can't have kids and be forced to stay at home. Italy's female employment rate hit a record high of 52.6%, in the second quarter, National Statistics Bureau ISTAT said, but it's still European Union's lowest, 14 percentage points below the average for the bloc. The Bank of Italy estimates closing the gap that would boost both workforce and gross domestic product by around 10%. Births, meanwhile, are expected to decline further from 2022's record low of 392,600, so less than 400,000, according to the academic and former ISTAT president, President Giancarlo Blangiardio. Current trends entail a drop of roughly 7 million in Italy's working age population by 2042. He said, all else being equal, that alone would drive the GDP loss of 339 billion euros, Blangiardio told Reuters, based on his simulation. Pensions already eat up more than 15% of GDP, and the government expects spending to reach 17% of output in 2042. With the current birth rates, our pension system doesn't hold up. So this country, just to recap, doesn't want women in the workplace. They don't make it sustainable for women to work because childcare is not there. They don't want immigration. That is apparent. And they know that they need women to work. I do not understand why they make it so hard for women to work, especially if they want to work, especially if people with some sense understand that it costs money to have children. Yes, I don't get it, but I do suspect that they will continue to decline, that their country will continue to get older, and that they will continue to not face the actual issues that are causing these birth declines and the aging population, and for their population to decline because of it. Y'all jump in the comments and let me know what you think.